Hi everyone, my name is Chris Borales. I'm on the product marketing team for FortiNDR Cloud. I'd like to give you this high-level overview, really introduce you to the product. FortiNDR Cloud is designed to give analysts the tools and data that they need to get their jobs done. That means that they have detections with low false positives at their fingertips, investigatory tools like playbooks that help them conduct thorough investigations quickly and efficiently. We're also featuring the dark mode interface that you can see here, which was released late last year. But if you want to toggle that off, if that's not to your liking, what you can do is just toggle that off by clicking on the settings gear up here in the top right hand corner and toggling that off with the switch. So you can see there's light mode, dark mode. Personally, I like the dark mode better, so we'll go ahead and keep that on. So we're going to go ahead and get started and take a look at the top left-hand corner of the default dashboard here, detections activity. What this widget does is it presents everything, all the detections that are currently happening in the environment, all mapped to the MITRE ATT&CK framework. You can see here it goes from reconnaissance all the way to impact. And what we're doing here, we're also giving a comparison on a weekly basis where we're showing the number of detections on the previous week and the current week. So you can see, obviously, under command and control, that we have a number of command and control activities that are happening on the network. Definitely something the analyst wants to take a look at and look further into. Next, let's take a look at observations. So observations determined by the FortiLabs or FortiGuard Labs team, these are, we'll call them threat hunting leads. These are not quite detections, but these are definitely things that are anomalous behavior. It's things that shouldn't be happening on the network that you want to take a closer look at. Things like new internal enumeration sources, new and unusual NTLM authentications, fileless or remote service creation. These are all things that warrant further investigation, but don't necessarily meet the criteria of a full detection or alert. Now, these are all sortable by confidence level. That you just click on the chevron here, high, moderate, low. You can sort through them using that pull down there. Now I want to turn your attention to the investigations widget here, where we're providing insight into current investigations as they're happening. Because our investigations can be worked in parallel across the security team, this section of the dashboard really gives you insight into the status and the number of days open and who last modified the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 investigations that you see in your environment. The next dashboard that I'd like to showcase is called the MITRE ATT&CK dashboard. We'll navigate there by clicking on the chevron next to the home button and then select MITRE ATT&CK dashboard from there. So the MITRE ATT&CK dashboard really gives analysts an at-a-glance view of all the detections across their environment mapped to the specific techniques across the MITRE ATT&CK framework. Now, these active detections are marked by a little light blue shield that you see down here in the key. So each one of the techniques that you see here connotes that there is an active detection with that particular technique. So we can see where the activity is happening throughout the environment. So if we click on this permission groups discovery here, this screen gives you a deep dive into a specific tactic. So by clicking on the shield icon again, this actually brings you to the exact detection rule that was triggered by FortiNDR Cloud. So we'll see that here. Enumeration of domain objects. So FortiNDR Cloud actually has a robust detection capability that's designed to give these high quality detections with very low false positives. This showcases one detection of the detection rules that are active in your environment. Now these rules are provided out of the box and have been engineered by the FortiGuard Labs team. As part of the FortiNDR Cloud subscription, customers benefit from these FortiGuard Labs built-in detection rules. And these are being constantly curated and honed and managed by the FortiGuard Labs team on the back end. So this requires no detection tuning on the part of the customer. Now let's go ahead and explore some of the detection capabilities. So from here, we're going to go ahead and click on Detections and then Triage Devices. So FortiNDR Cloud was really designed to help analysts quickly prioritize which assets need to be triaged first, with the help of built-in risk scoring that you see here. So obviously our most problem IP addresses have a score of 10, lowest will have a score of 1. Now, these risk scores are calculated by number of detections, severity, and confidence ratings for the active detections on that specific device. Now, in addition, the analyst can easily begin the process of responding to those detections all from the same page. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the Eternal Blue exploitation here. And in this detection rule, you'll see a description of the detected activity, a set of recommended next steps, and the severity and confidence levels to help the analyst understand what activity is actually going on, what impact that this event has on their network. So you can see here. Next, we're going to click on earliest events so we can dig into this detection a little bit. From here, we'll click on the source IP address to bring up what's called the enrichment panel. Now, this enrichment panel provides information about the device, and it's available at any point for the analyst and provides them with answers to questions on who, what, where that helps them respond and investigate this analyst further. Now, we can get a lot more in depth into the enrichment panel, but that'll be something for a deeper dive demo than what we're recording today. But we can definitely get into it in a later video. So from here, we're going to actually start an investigation. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on the source IP address. We're going to click on search events. And you can see here, I can quickly pivot from the IP address to actually create and start an investigation and create a query with this IP address here. So I just click on this, and it will bring up the Add Query to Investigation dialog box, where here I can create a query name, I can create an investigation name, and add this query to a new investigation. Now, I've already done this before, so what I'm going to do is we're going to pivot from here and go look at the investigations page. So from here, we'll go to Investigations, Investigate, and this is where you're going to see all of my current investigations that we have going. Now, here's the test investigation one that I created earlier for the purposes of this demo, but the idea from this page is that, remember what I talked about where we can actually collaborate across the SOC team or across our security team here on these investigations. So if I'm doing the early shift and my colleague is doing the later shift, and continue that investigation. Now, once I create that query, it adds the query and then it runs that query and it will provide results for us, which we can navigate to from here. So if I click on Test Investigation 1, here, this gives us a snapshot as to whether or not the query was completed. You can see it has been done. It has generated 100 events for us. But before we click on View Results, I want to bring your attention to some of the features that we have here. With the Add Query, I can append a new query to this investigation. We can add a playbook to this investigation as well. Now, the playbooks are created by the FortiGuard Labs team, and these playbooks allow us to create sort of out-of-the-box investigations where the analyst only has to put in very little amount of information in order to create some really robust queries on the latest TTPs, or tools, tactics, and procedures that our FortiGuard Labs team has seen. So for instance, something like a Log4j vulnerability that pops up. Our FortiGuard Labs team creates a playbook specific to Log4j that can be easily added to a existing investigation. Again, this is something we won't go into a lot during this video, but there's a robust set of predefined playbooks here that can help aid investigations and make them run more quickly and efficiently. We can also add notes that allow us to notate and provide a little more context around a specific reason why another query might have been added to an existing investigation. If I click on the eye icon up here, this lets us see, lets me get notifications about if any modifications are happening to this particular query. Now I'm going to click on View Results, and you can see, like the previous page said, we had over 100 events related to this IP address. It's definitely something that's going to warrant more digging into, and we're going to have to use a lot more of the advanced features with FortiNDR Cloud. Now, this wraps up our high-level demo, but please be sure to be on the lookout for more resources that are going to be provided by our SE team, where we'll be able to dig in a little deeper into FortiNDR Cloud. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.